I have Brandi Merlo of PG&E on the line with us today, and it looks like Amador and Calaveras County, about a 75% chance that we will experience a PSPS probably as early as 4 o'clock Wednesday morning. We wanted to talk to Brandi about that. Brandi, thanks for coming on today. Can you tell us any more about this?
Yeah, so due to the forecast of extreme weather conditions, we're considering proactively shutting off the power for safety and to further reduce wildfire risk to nearly 30 northern, central, coastal, and Bay Area counties across our service area. We made that announcement this morning.
And those will include El Dorado, Amador, Calaveras, and Tuolumne counties?
Correct, among some others, yes.
Brandi, so how do you decide what parts of the county will be affected?
We take a lot of different things into consideration, including high fire threat areas. That's one of the main factors. The weather conditions we're seeing in those areas, where the lines run and how the circuits are built also kind of determines who will be impacted and who might not.
Is there a map available yet, or do you provide a map of projected areas that'll be under the PSPS?
Once we actually make the decision, there is more information available on our website. At this point, we haven't officially called the PSPS yet. We're just alerting customers and counties to the fact that there could be one.
75% is what I was told by the Amador OES. In your world, is 75% pretty good odds?
I wouldn't be able to comment specifically on that. We're not really putting out percentages of what areas could be impacted. Right now, we're just looking at the weather conditions that are being forecasted and the areas that potentially could be impacted. We're kind of letting more people know. We'll work to refine that information in those areas and those customer counts as we get more information throughout the day. But we have opened our Emergency Operations Center in San Francisco, and our meteorological teams and our operational teams are working closely together to determine the need for a potential public safety power shutoff.
Brandi, in other counties, you've opened up centers that have provided water and charging stations for phones and tablets and so forth. Air conditioning. I don't know if we're going to really need air conditioning on Wednesday or not, but air conditioning, comfortable locations. Are you planning to do that for this one as well?
Absolutely. Whenever we call a PSPS now, we are setting up what we call customer resource centers. So it has seating for 100. There's lots of plugs available to plug or charge any devices. Bathrooms will be available if it's warm. Excuse me, there will be air conditioning, and I'm assuming if it's cold enough, we will definitely provide heat. But we'll have water, and customer service representatives will be there should anyone have any questions or concerns that they want to speak to them about.
Do you happen to know where those locations would be in Amador and Calaveras counties?
I haven't received the list just yet, but certainly we are looking to pre-identify those areas. We're working with county officials and city officials to kind of identify areas that would allow for these tents and centers to be set up, and also allow for the parking that would be needed to accommodate those folks. So, think, not that this is one necessarily, but think like the Kmart that closed down, maybe that parking lot would be a place that we might look at. Those type of areas, certainly potentially the fairgrounds would be a possibility. We're kind of looking for kind of more open spaces that we can set up these tents and these equipments and then offer the parking that we need available as well.
We're talking with Brandi Merlo of PG&E. If you just joined us, again, it looks like there's a great possibility Amador and Calaveras counties could come under a PSPS as early as 4 o'clock on Wednesday morning due to the weather conditions. Brandi, what advice do you give PG&E customers right now?
I would certainly have customers, be prepared. There's a lot of things that they can do. Some things that I even started doing since I live locally is freezing large bottles of water in my freezer so that if my power does go out, I can put them into my refrigerator, and it will help everything last a little longer. Gotten our generators out and checked them. If customers do have a whole house generator or do have any generation, we want to make sure they're not backfeeding into the system, so make sure they're installed properly. Certainly stock up on some water if you have a well, or any non-perishable foods that you could cook while the power's out. Once we shut the power off, we do have to go out and patrol all the lines before we're able to turn the power back on, so we can identify any issues and make any repairs. So we do let customers know to be prepared for possible outages of 24 to 48 hours after the weather event's over.
What has that been averaging, Brandi, the restoral times?
Yeah, so typically we've called a few this year so far, and most customers are being restored within about 24 hours. So it is kind of quick. With an event this scale, certainly we would look to call in extra resources to make sure we can patrol the areas. A couple things we've also been doing this year is holding drills in areas where we're, flying the lines and driving the lines and determining in advance where we can see the lines from the air, where we would need to drive, where we would need to walk, so we can immediately send those resources to those locations and start the patrol aspect even further. So we've been doing a lot of helicopter flying. Some of that has been to confirm the mapping of our system. Some of that is to confirm areas where we can fly and see those lines during a public safety power shutoff, so we can make sure we're able to restore those customers as soon as it's safe to do so.
So, Brandi, what needs to happen between now and Wednesday to avoid this? The wind shift, humidities come back up, and what? How can this be? I know we can't physically call it off ourselves, but what would happen? What would have to happen to?
Yeah, so certainly there's a chance that we could, refine the areas further that we wouldn't necessarily impact customers in Amador and Calaveras counties, but certainly we would need to see a difference in humidity levels. The difficulty is the vegetation humidity levels are at a very critical level right now as we're, near the peak of fire season or the end of the dry season. So that's certainly something that wouldn't necessarily change, but definitely wind speeds. These are very drying winds that we're anticipating coming in. So, a change in wind directions or, a shift of the weather to more northern or southern would certainly help out. But at this point, we're tracking a system that has strong drying winds across a lot of our service area.
Mm-hmm. And when would the call be made, Brandi? Late Tuesday, early Wednesday?
I know they're talking about it now. I know they're certainly all in meetings in our emergency operations center. As to when the actual call will be made, it's hard to say. Certainly, we try to give our customers at least 48 hours notice. So we're a little past that now, but certainly we will look to start notifying customers and letting them know. Obviously, we're getting the word out that we're thinking about it. We have our website available to the public where it kind of tracks what we're looking at meteorologically for the next 7 days. So we're making a lot of resources available to our customers and to the general public.
And that website is?
pge.com/weather. We'll get that. We'll get them that. Also, we just announced, too, that customers or non-customers can sign up for PSPS alerts based on zip codes.
Yeah, we had that story today.
So that's really important. If you're not a customer, if you're a renter, that your landlord maybe pays your PG&E bill as part of your rent, you can still get those notifications. Even if you're not the customer of record for that address, you can get them based on zip codes. So that's a great new tool that we have. I would also encourage anyone who hasn't to make sure their contact information is up to date so they can get these important contact and safety updates.
All right. I don't know if you've seen them. Have you seen the map? Actually, it came across on your Twitter. There's a map of the area and another graph where the PSPS is elevated, PSPS watch, and PSPS warning. Have you seen that?
Mm-hmm.
at all?
Yes.
It looks like, if I'm reading this right, we are in a PSPS watch
Yes.
area.
Yes.
Maybe not quite in the, it looks like we're in the watch area there. So, okay. Well,
yeah, and a watch really means that our emergency operations center is activated based on a reasonable chance of executing a public safety power shutoff.
mm-hmm.
So that is currently the situation we're in. It would change to warning as soon as we start notifying customers in the area that a PSPS has been called.
Sure. I'll go ahead and retweet that right now so other people that follow us. So, all right, Brandi Merlo, thank you very much. Again, give us that website for folks can find out more information on this.
Yeah, pge.com/wildfire safety will get you to all the general information. There's a specific link about PSPS, but you can also go to pge.com/weather, and you'll find that the chart that Jim referenced and a bunch of other good information specific to public safety power shutoffs and what we're looking at meteorologically.
Brandi, is it too late to sign up for the PSPS alerts if people have been dragging their feet? So if we sign up today, we'll be in the system?
Yes, if you call and sign up today, you'll certainly be in the system.
Brandi Merlo of PG&E, thank you very much.
Thanks, Jim.
All right.